Hello, Maberas. Gumi is very dead right now, which is fitting since we are about to draw the death card. Hello, Sheik. Very good to see you as always. Hope you're well today. If my voice sounds off, I apologize. A bit tired. I'm also experimenting with some new filters that will hopefully help to suppress some background noise. But anyways, as we know, we are changing gears today and drawing a tarot card. I'm not actually sure what this should even look like, but we will be going over the death card. And I'm going to do something incredibly dangerous, which is stream myself using a web browser. And I'm mostly just putting this here for context so we can look at how the death card is typically rendered. This is from just the OG tarot deck and Rider-Waite deck. And we typically see death as like a skeleton on a horse. And most interpretations of death have, of course, included a skeleton. So, obviously, for Mabera, we have to go against the grain, so we are not going to draw a skeleton at all. I do not think we should have any traditional death imagery in the death card. I think we should lean into the drug tarot connections, which are very thoroughly documented in the Mabera Codex. I actually should link that in the description. Let me do that after stream. But the drug that's linked with the death card, per Gumi's incredibly mentally ill logic, is ketamine. And as we all know, we have these molecules in the Mabera collection, so I'm like, okay. The first thing I think we should work around is figuring out how to make this shape work for the whole composition. When we think about ketamine, we think about some of the things that are pretty aligned with the traditional meaning of the death card. It's mostly about change, about getting new perspectives. And yes, this can apply to many different drugs, I think, but I think that rings especially true for ketamine. The one thing I've always enjoyed about the death card too is that it's not really something that's meant to be scary. It's just meant to visually portray something which is inevitable, change. The scary part comes in if you resist said change, if you cling to something that's already fucking over. So, yeah. Lots of unnecessary, I guess it's necessary context in this case, but I feel like I'm rambling a lot, not drawing enough. Oh, 1 second. I did not mean to leave the AC on. My bad. But anyways, yeah, let's draw. So I want this to be a composition that looks good, both upright and reversed, because, you know, in tarot, it is possible to draw a card reversed. But I'm thinking that there's probably some interesting K-hole imagery we could veer into here. Wondering if we can do anything interesting with distorting this shape. Create some more dimension. I feel like a lot of tarot cards don't just have too much going on dimension-wise. I don't know, Gumi just fucking being retarded and spitballing here. With K-hole, the thing that comes to mind for me is like spirals, holes. No, not those sorts of holes, you dirty fucking minds, but Maybe that can be incorporated somehow here too. Hello, Jitalik. Thank you for joining us. I am mentally ill right now, trying to figure out how the fuck to draw whatever I am here to draw today. All I know is that we want to draw a representation of death. We want to draw a hole of some sorts. That makes me think we need to go into a spiral sort of direction. Though, I guess one thing too that we can keep from some of the traditional cards is the horse. Because there are some obvious parallels there between horses and ketamine, and that feels like way too obvious of a path to take here. Brought a lot of horses on stream recently, haven't I? Between this and the fucking Loa horse. One thing I need to consider too is, how do we want a border to work? Because as you can see, like historically, a lot of this art has borders. Some more intricate than others. Some appearing more like actual frames. Some appearing like this, where we have all sorts of description surrounding the photo, or surrounding the drawing, so we'll see. You know, I did take horse riding lessons growing up. Well, for about a year, I think. Fun fact, that was actually one of my first introductions to BDSM as a child, because my instructor was a very open-minded woman. Strange period for, I think, 9-year-old Gumi. No wonder I turned out the way I did. I wouldn't call myself a horse girl, though. I don't know. Not just super fond of them. But anyways, I think it feels natural to explore some sort of border here. I'm gonna cheat and make it to where we can just easily symmetry of frame. Why is it doing that? Excuse me. Is it because rotational sim? Yeah. I'm feeling called into a thicker sort of frame situation for this. Prove itself to be invalid. Later, we shall see. Do we want this to be in color or not? I'm feeling like this may end up being a black and white situation. Hard to say. It's kind of what I hate about the early stages of projects like this, and kind of why I've kind of just dragged my feet with getting this started anyways. There are so many fucking different options. There are so many different paths to take, and the amount of choice paralysis I can endure is monumental. Alright, you're feeling with color, Sheik? Can certainly do that. I'm gonna start off with just black and white and gray though. I don't know why I'm doing the frame like this. Just going with what feels nice right now. Isn't choice paralysis so fucking fun? It keeps things interesting. I think death is card 13. Yeah, it's the 13th major arcana. And I'm thinking that for the Mabera deck, we should flip the script quite a bit and make death the first card. Is the Rider-Waite version the only one that... Okay, no. There are plenty of other versions that have the Roman numerals on it. Most of them do, actually. I like this one with all the different... the hands and the feet. I may steal that. Because that looks kind of cool. What if we had like hands like that coming out of a portal, a K-hole type situation? That might be neat. But anyways, we should make a frame or something to put the Roman numeral in. Though I'm wondering, maybe it would be good to follow the typical Mabera form factor here and just pick a corner to slot it into like that. And then maybe like we can choose another corner to put the element symbol in. And maybe the other quadrants can be filled in some way as well. Actually, what if we just put the ketamine molecule in one corner, just like how it is in Mabera. We put Roman numeral. Actually, maybe we put the ruling sign. I swear we have those for every card too. Roman numeral there. Alchemy bottom corner. Let me consult the Mabera Codex briefly. Sorry, I'm trying to fill the void with words right now. Did y'all hear that peacock? So the sign for this card would be water. Should we just use the Mabera sign for it? I think we should. Because I think the more we can reuse the actual assets, the better. I'm gonna make my screen black momentarily so I can navigate to that holder without showing y'all my entire photo library, which I'm sure that y'all would fucking love to see. I swear, I've been hearing that bird outside so fucking much lately. You know, I don't mind it, it's just, God. While I'm at it, I'll grab the element symbol as well. Scorpio. You know, I was not expecting to lay down actual structure for these cards already, but I'm glad that we are, because it's much easier for me to actually draw when the structure is established. I'm glad to hear about the stream audio levels. Thank fuck. Now let's spend a little too much time tinkering with the sizing here, folks. I wonder how much or how many times I'll end up reusing a lot of these assets that we made from Ibarra. I'm gonna use those as guidelines for the symbol placement. Maybe should also do that for good measure. It's kind of nice. Kind of. I feel like I'm starting to get a good idea of what we should draw here. I have no idea, Sheik, but I would not be surprised. Sheik asks, aren't there subreddits where people enjoy browsing other people's phones? Would not be surprised if that's the case, because there is a fucking subreddit for everything. Which is a great thing, but also a not great cursed thing, because that means Reddit's just the perfect site to spend lots and lots of time wasting your time on it. I am not immune to that shit. Y'all are witnessing just how fucking lazy Gumi can be. I could have just drawn this line quickly, but nope. Choose to just transform a regular line instead. This is true, Sheik. I suppose one could argue that it is time well spent. Because after all, life is short and you should enjoy, you should spend as much time as possible enjoying it. And if you enjoy spending time on Reddit, then it is not a waste. I'm not feeling this Roman numeral situation. I should probably do something about that at some point, but not now. At least that's the easiest one to adjust. I think I have some tarot decks that have like a similar amount of symbols on them. Let me go ahead and organize my damn layers before I fuck this up. Okay, so spirally K-holes type situation. I want some hands. Maybe the spiral can be worked into like the ground. Have it be like look like some sort of psychedelic sinkhole situation. I don't know. To use values to communicate depth. Just as a way to start out. I think it's interesting how pretty much all of the major arcana have compositions which are very character focused. And that's completely fine, but I feel like a lot of art tends to suffer from feeling locked into just defining a character. And I'm not saying we're not going to define a character here. I'm not being called to define a character right now. I mean, at most, I'm feeling a horse, but I don't think the horse should be the character here. I don't know if I'm making any fucking sense at all. And hello, Zoni, thank you for dropping in. I hope you're doing well. Gumi's spiraling while drawing a fucking spiral right now. Let me actually pause for a moment. I want to drink some fucking water. Okay, water consumed. Stay hydrated, folks. Were y'all around for the Bara spaces that Janny and Icy and Bara Search did? And Janny would always harass Icy about her proactivity with water, which was funny. And yeah, only water today. Gumi's boring. Gotta get hydrated, cause I certainly am not. Was this supposed to be a foot? Like, like what the hell is that? Is that a foot or a hand? Weird. Good luck surviving, Zoni. Dealing with any amount of heat right now does sound pretty fucking terrible. I'm good, I'm just tired. I'm running off of like 2 hours of sleep, and the mental health is very poor. But we push through. Maybe we should practice some extreme perspective here and have like a hand inviting the viewer into the K-hole. Ignore how poorly this is drawn right now. I'm just futzing with perspective. Jesus Christ, that's way too fucking hot. It's only, yeah, it's 66 where I'm at right now, here in good old Atlanta. How extreme should I make this perspective? Please tell me if any of these ideas are not making sense so I can course correct. A fucking frost warning, Shriek. Jesus. Good luck. Be safe. don't slip. That's what I'm always scared of whenever I see warnings for ice or frost or anything like that. No, let's not do that actually. Okay, how the fuck do I work a horse into this actually? Should I put like a small horse sitting on the hand? No. I feel like we have a real chance to go for some strange body horror type shit here. It could be like a pony dancing rendered in the style of like a Grateful Dead bear or something. The dancing bears. A horse head could be cool, yeah. Especially if it's like maybe like a gory severed horse head. But that's probably also leaning too much into darker imagery. So that's what the bottom half looks like. What should be in the top half? Water is the element here, so maybe we can have the spiral tapering off into like a water flow situation. Maybe... Maybe we could actually put a horse head silhouette somewhere in here. Maybe it could be the Loa horse head. Let me try something. Let me do it in a different color. Not different enough. There we go. Good luck with your journey back into hell, Sony. I wish you well. Stay safe. I love you as well. I fucking love everyone here. It's always strange drawing on stream when it comes to stuff like this that's a bit more unstructured than drawing for the VM. interesting journey to take, though. And I think this one will be pretty interesting if we do actually color it, because water would be a very good way to introduce some blues and greens into a composition which historically doesn't seem to have just tons of blues and greens. Excuse me. Are we really already 30 minutes in? Jesus. We're probably not going to get as far along as I was hoping with this card, but you know what? That's okay. These things take time. Maybe I should do this, keep drawing this on Friday too, because I don't know if the Honey Road site will be back up by then. And I kind of need that site to be up so I can upload things to the VM. Maybe the background here can be populated with some stars. I should probably throw in like an actual constellation or something. Perhaps Scorpius. I feel like that might work well. I worry sometimes if Mabera is too heavy-handed with the overall imagery, with all the bluntness we put into the art. But at the same time, maybe that's not a bad thing. Very, very easy for Gumi to overthink about these things. Yeah, I like this vibe of the water dissipating into the night sky, beads of water breaking off and becoming stars in the background. And that's kind of a good visual representation of change, I think. I don't know if that'll actually come across super well here, but since I am saying it on the record, hopefully y'all can see it too. And I think it creates some fun contrast between weird spiral K-hole death spiral thing and pretty night sky with water and stars. I'm gonna spend probably a little too much time here tinkering with how the water should taper off. Feeling called to adjust some of this shit. This looks like milk right now to me. It'll be good to throw in color there soon. Let's look at these for inspiration again. Do we need to throw a sickle in somewhere? I know we said we were gonna stray from traditional imagery. So I don't know. The sickle is so cool, and I feel like the curve of one would work well against the spiral somewhere. I don't know. Maybe the giant hand could be holding a sickle. Nah. Nah. I feel that I'm losing the plot if I pursue that thread, I think. Let's put kind of a strained and not feeling that though. Where did I put that? Okay. Why did I draw that on the same layer? God damn it. This fucking stupid ass gumi decision. Maybe I need to rethink the larger hand here, actually. What if it's more of a grasping situation? No. I feel like that doesn't look as cool unless it's outstretched. Decisions, decisions. I feel like one thing that isn't helping is that this sort of exaggerated perspective is a bit difficult to do well. I'm unsure if I am decent enough at this to do it well. But we will try. I feel like there's something missing in this area. I don't think we need another hand here. I think there needs to be something else. This is like a giant fucking skeleton. Are those mountains there? That dude is enormous. Actually, it's pretty enormous in all these compositions, really. These two seem a bit more grounded in reality. Pretty enormous here, too. I like the visualization of the sunrise in the background here. Do we need to work in mountains somehow here? Nah. It just feels like there needs to be something different here. But what? Let's tinker with feeling out the water some more. Because maybe adding more shape to that will help. Is that my dog? I think my dog wants in. Please excuse me for a moment. All right. Yeah, isn't it fascinating, Sheik? Always interesting to go back and look. I feel like I need to spend more time, like, actually studying art. Like, art history. I used to do it a lot more than I do now. Maybe I'll go for a walk after stream. I feel like I could use a nice, good walk in the sun right now. I have not been outside today yet. Can you believe it? Am I doing a disservice by not just drawing a Mabera in here? This is Major Arcana after all. I just don't know why. I'm just really not feeling a character for this. Maybe we can put some eyes. Some Mabera eyes at the bottom of the spiral there. That can be the character. I was kind of joking, but maybe that is the move here, because it's kind of haunting. Let me grab some actual Mabera eyes. Let me erase the whites of the eyes, so we're just left with the primary parts. Let's put a clipping mask and throw. Yeah. Dog, what do you have? Dog. God damn it. Sorry, talking to my dumb dog. No, she's not dumb. She's wonderful. I feel like this isn't just scaling incredibly well, but I think the sketched eyes actually look a little better. I don't know. We'll keep it like that for now. I'm glad you think so, Sheik. Sheik, you have witnessed me draw so much different shit. Thank you for deciding to spend your time with Gumi like this. Feels like we need some more shadow here. I'm feeling once again called in this weird painterly direction. I'm really, really glad that the depth comes across. Beginning to wonder actually if I should start throwing in some color. Honestly, no. Let me do all the rendering in black and white, and then what I can do is go in and color with a gradient map. I don't think I've used gradient maps too much on stream yet, so that'll be a good thing to have documented for us to all learn more about later. I was so nervous about starting off this series of art, but I am so relieved that we have finally gotten a proper start to it. I feel like when you look at this though, you definitely do not think about ketamine, but we can address that later. I feel like that larger hand needs to be moved down just a smidge. Just a very, very small amount. Let me duplicate it in case I fuck it up. Let's adjust this a little bit. Just a little. This was not at all what I was expecting to shit out onto the page for discard, but it's a very Mabera thing to go this sort of direction, I suppose. I'm thinking next stream we will probably end up throwing in like a legible actual horse somewhere in like this area, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. God, we are really losing that hand as I start rendering it, but that's okay. It will be more apparent over time, hopefully. Trying not to get too fussed over things just looking entirely legible right now. Given that this is such early stage shit. I want to do a quick test though to see if my idea for gradient mapping will work well for the current amount of shading and shit that we have, or will I need to push it more? I think we may end up needing to push it more. Yeah, I think we need to introduce some more highlights on the edges of the water. We need to make the darker parts darker. Got our work cut out for us, but it'll be okay. Honestly, we haven't reached an hour yet, but I think we may be at a good stopping point for now. I don't feel pulled to continue working down this path because I need to just think about the next steps for this piece. It's one of those ones with some amount of visual depth, but I wanted to have even more like actual meaningful depth. But thank you for accompanying me on this strange fucking journey. It's been fun. I hope y'all have a lovely day ahead. Thank you, Sheik, for the company. Thank you, Zoni. Thank you, Gina Lick, and anyone else who showed up, even you lurkers. I see you and I love you all. And yeah, have a good day, have a good night.